Hey guys. Okay, so I first want to start by saying, hey, how is everyone? Hopefully everybody is still doing all right. Health-wise, I hope you're all good. I hope everybody is happy, and home safe in your family. Um, yeah, I know. So this video is coming after, um, the governor's announcement of schools being closed for the rest of the year. So I just want to say, um, it's totally okay to be saddened by that news, especially seniors. I know that that's something that really kind of cuts deep. Um, but, I just know I'm really sad too. It sucks that I won't get to see you guys in person again this school year. Um, but that being said, really try to keep your heads up at this time. Really try to stay positive as you can, with everything going on. I know it can be difficult, but try to get out there, stay active. I know I've been going on a ton of walks, and that's been really helping me. Get outside, like throw a football with a family member, do what it takes. Just get out there and try to keep yourself in good spirits. Because I know, that announcement can be kind of tough. But please also know that we, as your faculty and staff and teachers at Highland Springs, are doing everything in our power right now to make sure that um, you guys are getting everything and anything that you need from us. We have all of your best interests at heart. So please know that, we are working diligently. Mr. White is working really hard for you guys right now, trying to make sure that he gets information out as soon as possible about what the rest of the school year is going to look like for us with our virtual learning. Please know that just because the school year is over in person, that doesn't mean that this virtual learning is going to stop. I will still be pushing materials out to you all, especially until we know for sure about what's going to happen with the rest of the year. So please continue to log in with me every week. Now, I will say, disclaimer, I don't know if I had mentioned in previous videos last week, anything that is being posted to you all right now, since the school closing, so any of this virtual learning is all considered enrichment work. So know that no, it is not required for your grade. But I do think that trying to keep things as normal as possible for you, keeping some kind of normal schedule, with sitting and doing some schoolwork every day is going to be really good for you guys to stay in that habit, so it's not a big shock when we do get back to school. So while, and I know I personally, as one of your elective teachers, am really trying to make my work really fun for you guys, and keep it as something that you guys might really be interested in working on. So I'm doing my best to try and make it as fun as possible in this virtual learning environment. um so yeah, so just try to stay engaged. Ooh, really sorry if you guys can hear my dog. She's asleep on the floor right now, next to me, but oh, I woke her up. um Sorry, she's a very loud snorer, very unladylike. um Anyways, but yeah, so continue to log in with me if you can. Just a reminder, if you haven't watched the Watch Me Part 2 video with how the rest of school, like, or at least the next couple of weeks, the way the new plan is, all of your work for the week will be posted on Fridays. So Friday, by end of the day, you guys will have all of your information that you will need for the following week. And you have that entire week to do it until the following Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Anything that's due to me is due at that time, and so on and so forth. So, excuse me. No, I don't have corona. Just a very dry throat. But from here on out, know that instead of, remember, originally I thought that we were doing Wednesday to Wednesday for the elective classes, but it's actually incorrect. So now Friday to Friday will be our weekly schedule. But on Wednesdays is our face-to-face time still. And remember, for you guys, the Zoom sessions that I have scheduled for you all are from 9 to 9:30 a.m. every Wednesday. And that's going to be a recurring Zoom meeting. And it's, again, not required that you drop in. It's not going to be like a lesson, but it is just a chance for, you guys will have access to the Zoom code. The link, I sent you guys a message on Schoology with the link. It should be the same link from week to week. I'll have to kind of double check that after our meeting tomorrow to make sure that that's still the same code that we're going to use. But it is a recurring Zoom meeting that is supposed to happen every single week. So from 9 to 9:30 a.m. And it's just an opportunity, if you have any questions about the assignments that we're working on, it's a time to drop into the meeting and ask those questions face to face, as opposed to trying to get me via email or Schoology, which I'm also responding to, which is totally fine. But if you just want an immediate face-to-face answer, that would be a good time to do it. Or if you just want to stop in and say hi to me, or maybe hi to fellow classmates that you might not have seen. It's just that 30-minute period every Wednesday where you have the opportunity to sit in on a meeting with me and just, see what's up. So I do still invite you guys to do that. So again, this is being posted on Tuesday the 24th. So we will have another one tomorrow at 9 a.m. And yeah, so be sure to join me then for that next video chat. If you guys have any questions about the stuff that I'm posting today or the stuff that I posted last week, we're just going to kind of continue to build on that stuff. Okay, so all of that being said, that should bring us up to date to right now. So something that I would like to do moving forward, just as kind of a fun thing to do from week to week. So obviously we are kind of the only unit that we were able to get through, since this was a semester class. We had just wrapped up our unit on debate. So that is going to be our main focus for the rest of the school year, pretty much, because I don't know if we'll be necessarily cranking new information out to you guys. So just as a way to enrich the learning that we already did on debate, I thought it would be fun if we start each day. So those of you that had me for creative writing last semester, you guys know that we would start every class with some kind of smaller writing assignment. So it would be, some kind of little short, like 5 to 10 minute, sometimes longer writing prompt that you guys would have to do. Well, I thought it would be fun to do kind of the same thing with debate. So what I would love us to start doing, I've posted it as an assignment, but that's really just so that you guys have a place to drop your information to me. But every week I'm going to post a fun, small debate topic. So similar to the kinds that we did during the game that we played, those last couple of days of classes, those like little debate games where we divided into groups, similar to those kinds of topics. I'm going to post like silly kind of debate topics that, you could choose a stance on. And I want you each week to choose which side of the debate you're on, and then film yourself reacting to that debate question. So read the debate question for that week, and then film yourself giving a response to that debate question. And it just has to be under 5 minutes in length. So try not to go on longer than 5 minutes. But I just thought that would be a fun way to still kind of get us in the practice of debating in a debate format, since we don't necessarily have the opportunity to debate face-to-face anymore. And that way you can post it in the assignments as well. Maybe in the future, I'll actually post it as a discussion post so that you guys can see each other's responses. but yeah, so I just thought that would be a fun way. So for this week, our very first 5-minute debate, the topic is avocado. There are two sides to the avocado debate. That avocado is delicious and should be added to almost every meal, or that avocado has reached a point where it is ridiculous and it is super, super overrated. All right, so choose a stance on avocado. Do you think that it belongs everywhere, that like it is avocado toast, and every other meal, every salad has avocado, everything has avocado nowadays? Or do you think that avocado has run its course and we need to be done with it? It is now overrated. So take your stance, film yourself giving a response, and post it in that 5-minute debate assignment for this week. And we'll just see which side of the debate wins. I will keep you guys posted on the responses that I get, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let me pause really quick. My dog wants to go out. Okay, sorry. So that being said, so we're now going to start doing our 5-minute debates every week. Just gave you your topic. And then also something I would like to start doing every week is just a little bit of review of the terminology that we've learned and the things that we have learned from our debate packet that we got back at the beginning of the semester. Excuse me. So I wanted to kind of start reviewing some of the terminology every week. So we learned 22 different terms. So today, I would like to start with the first 7 of those terms, and then the next 3 weeks, I'll give you guys 5 terms at a time. So if you guys want to be keeping track of them yourselves, like taking notes of these terms just to have them, I just wanted to review them all. And then I'll also post a link to a Quizlet. That way it's like the online thing where it's the online flashcards and you can quiz yourself on the terms, just so that you guys have that as a resource as well. Okay, so let's take just a minute to go over some of those terms. Let me find my document here. All right, so first and foremost, one of the terms that we learned was debate. So what is debate? So debate is two people equally trying to prove to a judge which side is right using some kind of formal structure. So remember that is at the core what a debate is. So that is kind of more on the legal side of things. So two people equally trying to prove to a judge which side is right using a formal structure. So remember, having a debate is a more formal situation than just arguing. So typically you do have someone there as some kind of judge. Oops, sorry. Give me 1 second. Oh, sorry, all there are people being real weird outside my house right now. Anyways, all right, so debate. So yes, it is a more formal structure than just an argument that you might get into with a friend. A debate, you guys have, researched these things. You've come up with legitimate reasons why your side of the argument is correct. And typically there is someone there to determine which side kind of wins the debate, which side is right. So that was the definition of debate. One last time, two people equally trying to prove to a judge which side is right using a formal structure. All right, so then that brings us to a fight. So remember, we talked about this as well. So a fight is more so, in contrast to a debate, a fight is a confrontation in which people cross lines and attack to prove to each other who or what is right. So remember, this one doesn't necessarily have to have a judge. This is a confrontation between people. So you can get into a fight. This could be physical in nature, or it could just be a verbal fight, but it is different from both an argument and a debate. It is a confrontation in which people cross lines and attack to prove to each other who or what is right. So you are using more negative tactics to, sorry, my dog wants in. You're using more negative tactics to prove that your side of the argument is right. So it is not very positive, right? It's you are purposely crossing the line and attacking the other person, and potentially even using things that don't have anything to do with the point that you're trying to make in order to just win over that person. So we have a debate, which is a more formal structure, but then we have a fight, which is a confrontation where people are kind of attacking each other to see who is right. All right. Number 3, so that brings us to argument. So if we have a debate that is a more formal structure and a fight, which is no formal structure, we have argument then, which is presenting a persuasive opinion or claim. So typically, argument does go into debate. Like you have an argument, you are presenting an opinion or a claim within your debate in order to spark, the debate itself, right? There can also be argument within a fight, but the differences then are that the debate is more formal, the fight is informal. But the argument itself is a persuasive opinion or claim. So the argument can go within the debate or the fight. Remember, we talked about all of this. This was kind of like a Venn diagram type situation in our presentation, which I will also repost to you guys so you have access to it. All right. So then remember, we talked about Lincoln-Douglas debates. So this is number 4 for us today. So Lincoln-Douglas debates, remember, were a series of debates in 1858 for the Illinois State Senate between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas, hence Lincoln-Douglas debates. The debates, remember, we talked about went on for a series of days, but the two were so formal in their presentation of these debates that we actually model debate structure after those debates today. There was a specific structure that went on. They allowed each other to speak. They wouldn't let the debates just drag on and on and on. They had a set amount of time. They wouldn't speak over each other. They would let the other person speak, then it would be their turn, then the other person could have a rebuttal to that point, and so on and so forth until they wrapped up. So it was so clear and concise and so professionally put together that everybody now kind of models debate after that. So the Lincoln-Douglas debate model is what we use today in formal debate. All right. So then moving on to number 5 for today, opening statements. We should be very familiar with opening statements at this point. We wrote a couple of our own. So remember, an opening statement for a debate is a statement made by each side of the argument. Sometimes I know it was in our notes as by the lawyer for each side. If we're looking at the kind of like court cases, like judge side of things, like judicial kind of system way of looking at debates. An opening statement would be a statement made by the lawyer for each side of the beginning of a trial in which each lawyer outlines the case he or she intends to present. So that is kind of in legal terms, but in non-legal terms, it is for debate. It is the opening statement is your first statement that you make to your judge, to your audience, to the counter argument, whatever it may be, in which each lawyer outlines, or each person outlines the case he or she intends to present. So it is your outline. It is mirrored to an opening statement in a paper that you write. So in English class, if you've learned the structure of how to write a paper, your opening statement is basically the same thing as your opening paragraph for a paper. You set up your argument, you kind of give a brief overview, a thesis statement about what you're going to talk about for the duration of the debate, and that moves on into the rest of your stuff. The same way that an opening paragraph for a paper outlines what you're going to discuss for the rest of the paper. All right, 2 more for today. So we have our opening statement, then that also brings us to our closing statement. So if the opening statement outlines the entire argument, your closing statement is going to do the opposite. It is going to bring everything together and wrap it in a nice bow. So again, in legal terminology, the definition would be: in a trial, each attorney's summary of the case, which attempts to persuade the judge and the jury, if there is one, to favor his or her side. So again, so in non-legal terms, in a debate format specifically, a closing statement is the same thing as your closing paragraph in a paper that you would write for English. It is where you summarize everything that you have stated, you wrap everything up. It is not a time to bring in any new information into your debate. You want to clear everything up in that final summary of events and wrap it up in a nice bow, while also trying to say it in a way as to persuade your audience or your judge or just the other person that you're debating with to get them onto your side of the argument. So opening statement sets us up for everything we're about to hear. Closing statement wraps everything up in a nice pretty bow, while also persuading the other side to still try and persuade them onto your side of the argument. All right, so then last but not least, for today at least, we have counter argument. So counter argument, remember, is basically the opposite argument to you. So the definition that I have here is the opposite argument or viewpoint from what the speaker or writer is saying. So let's just take a basic debate. So like the one that I posted for you guys today about avocados. So if my opinion is that avocados are delicious, they should be on everything, my counter argument was that other argument that avocados have run their course, like they're overrated and they shouldn't be, on anything anymore. So that would have been the counter argument to my argument. So the counter argument is just the opposite opinion from whatever your argument is. All right, simple enough. So hopefully all of that was review for you guys. And so each week we'll keep doing the 5-minute debate, and at the top of each video, I'll let you guys know who the winners officially were. And then from there, we'll review some of the words, some of the terminology that we learned for debate unit, and then we'll jump into whatever we're doing that week. So, I don't want to drag this on for too much longer, but I do just want to kind of review where we were last week. So remember, we are working on conspiracy theories. I thought this would be a fun way for us to kind of review all of our debate knowledge by getting to choose something that hopefully interests us. So last week, remember, we kind of talked about what a conspiracy theory is. So let's break that down one more time just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So a conspiracy in and of itself is a secret plan or agreement between conspirators for an unlawful or harmful purpose, especially with political motivation sometimes, all right? And also that there is a secret element to that. So if that is a conspiracy theory then is a theory that it's an explanation of an event or situation that invokes a conspiracy by sinister and powerful actions. So basically meaning that a conspiracy, conspiracy theories in and of themselves have kind of blown up over the years as being things that people think, that crazy people buy into, right? That, the government is out to get you, or there's something, that's just not being told to us as like a regular human race, right? So that's essentially kind of what a conspiracy theory is an explanation for anything that is out of the ordinary in society, right? So what I asked you guys to do, so we went over kind of what conspiracy theories were, and then remember we also discussed that acronym FACTS. So when studying and looking at conspiracy theories, you have to go in with a grain of salt. Like you have to kind of flush through everything with a fine-tooth comb to figure out what is a credible source and what's not, right? Because so much about debate that we talked about is making sure that you're doing good research, that you have credible sources. But so a way to do that was this FACTS acronym. So just to review that really quick, we had F stand for flawed evidence. So making sure, like, are there artifacts, witnesses, recordings, and other sources legit? Making sure, that the evidence itself is not flawed, that these people are using in their arguments for or against the conspiracy theory. The A was for assumptions. Do the theory's believers follow flawed logic and or fallacies? So the people that think that whatever conspiracy theory you're doing is true, do they have a flawed logic? Are they making a lot of assumptions that are not based in fact? C was citations. So are their sources cited? If so, are the sources credible or not? So again, the people that are making the argument for or against your conspiracy theory that you've chosen, are they citing credible sources? What does it mean to cite a credible source? Like what, just are the sources that they are citing credible in any way? Again, are they kind of based in fact or not? The T in facts was truth. What witnesses do we have for or against your conspiracy theory who can verify the truth? What recordings or primary sources validate what happened? Are the witnesses reliable? So remember, a primary source is something that is as close to the argument as you can get. So are there firsthand accounts? If you're doing aliens and a specific UFO sighting, are the people that were there and actually did the sighting, like claim that they saw it with their own eyes, are those people credible? How do we determine if those people are credible? Do they suffer from some kind of mental illness? Like, do they, have bad eyesight? Like what, those sorts of things. So the truth of the matter, really kind of digging in deep. And then last but not least, the S is science. So is there a lack of scientific fact, a misuse of it, and or inaccurate data in whatever it is that you're searching for? So is the conspiracy theory rooted in any kind of science? Depending on what your theory is, that could be important. So again, you guys have access to all of that information from last week. And all I asked you for last week after we discussed this was to send me in a topic that you guys could be researching for your conspiracy theories. Everybody that has sent me one, I have commented back to you. There wasn't anybody that sent one in that didn't get approved. So if you haven't sent in your conspiracy theory idea to me yet, please be sure to do so. That link will still be available to you guys. Don't worry about it saying late or anything like that. You can still access it and still push that information through to me. The link itself will not close. But so all I asked for last week was just letting me know which conspiracy theory you were interested in so that I could make sure that it was appropriate. So we learned this FACTS acronym for a reason. There needs to be a certain level of research that goes into whether or not you believe in the conspiracy theory that you have chosen. So what I would like us to do this week is two things. I would like it if you could give me a very, very brief, paragraph summary of what your conspiracy theory is about, if you haven't already. Some of you kind of did spell it out for me already. So if you've already done that, then that's fine. If you haven't, just give me a brief little paragraph summary of what your conspiracy theory is about. Then, after that, I would like you to find two credible sources that back up the argument that you're trying to make. So if you are for or against this conspiracy theory, I want you to find at least two sources that you feel are credible and link those to me. And give me like one or two sentences. So link it in a document, just like copy and paste the link. And after you copy and paste the link, give me like a 2-sentence summary of why you think that source is a credible source. Where are you getting this information from? And why, and who was it written by? Why do you consider this to be a credible source for what you are researching? Because remember, so much of debate is making sure that we are using credible sources and facts to ground our argument, right? So that's all I'm asking you guys for this week is write me a very short summary, just a paragraph summary of what your conspiracy theory is about, and then find me two credible sources that you can link with a very very short 2-3 sentence summary of why you think that is a credible source. All right. And then I will get back to you guys after you send that part to me and let you know my thoughts on whether or not I think you have credible sources or not. And we can take a look together at what that might be. And let me just say this too, guys. So because this is a virtual learning environment, I know it might seem that like there's a lot of, just typing and like computer work on y'all's end. I am completely open because this is supposed to be a speech communications class. I am very much open to, instead of you guys like typing up a response to me, if you guys would like to film yourselves, saying what you want to say instead of having to type it out and sending that to me, that is absolutely okay with me as well. So if you would rather do that instead of typing me a paragraph, if you want to just flip out your phone or your computer and film a little video of you telling me about the conspiracy theory instead of typing it, I am totally open to that, because the more we communicate like this over a video chat in a speech format, the better it is for this class. So I am totally open to that mode of communication. So yeah, that is your assignment for this week. Let me make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, that looks like it's it, guys. So we went over the 5-minute debates. You guys have a link to that in this Schoology folder. So if you guys haven't done that already, please feel free to go back and add that for me. So you've got a 5-minute debate. We have reviewed some debate terms. I will add the Quizlet for you guys to have access to if you want to just be quizzing yourselves on the vocab words outside of us talking about them in the videos. We've reviewed conspiracy theories, what they are. We have reviewed the FACTS acronym. You guys, again, have access to that information in the week 1 folder. So please feel free to reference that back if you need it. And then now we have discussed the topics that you guys have chosen and what I would like from you guys for this coming week. And I will also try and find a cool video just kind of discussing conspiracy theories. I actually have one saved that I'll try to get linked for you guys that I think is really funny. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions. You can always email me or message me on Schoology, or please feel free to join our face-to-face live Zoom chat tomorrow. on, or just any Wednesday from 9 to 9:30 a.m. And you guys should have a message in Schoology with that link. All right, you guys, I think that's all I have for you today. So until next week, or at least until our Zoom chat tomorrow, see you next time. And yeah, stay positive, guys. Everything's going to be okay. Go Springers. Bye, guys.